Beverly Hills. The name alone conjures up images of luxury and glamour, palm trees swaying in the California sun, gleaming convertibles cruising down Rodeo Drive, designer boutiques showcasing the latest fashions. But behind the shimmering facade, a different reality is setting in. The shine is fading and the cracks are starting to show. The economic downturn has hit Beverly Hills hard. Rising costs and changing spending habits have taken their toll. Businesses, once symbols of luxury and success, are struggling to survive. Empty storefronts, once unthinkable on Rodeo Drive, are becoming an increasingly common sight. The iconic Barney's New York, a mainstay for decades, closed its doors in 2020. Beloved local businesses like Nate and Al's Delicatessen were also forced to shutter. This decline has left many wondering if even Beverly Hills can't sustain its opulence. What does that say about the future of luxury itself? It's not just the businesses that are leaving, even the residents, the very people who made Beverly Hills their home, are starting to move away. Some residents cite the rising cost of living as a major factor. Property taxes are sky high, and the cost of maintaining the lavish lifestyle has become unsustainable for many. Beverly Hills was once a haven of privacy and exclusivity, but those walls are starting to crumble. The influx of tourists, the constant paparazzi, and the growing sense of unease have led many residents to seek refuge elsewhere. Places like Hidden Hills and Calabasas offer a similar level of luxury, but with a greater sense of privacy and security. This exodus of the stars is perhaps the most telling sign of all. Beverly Hills is no longer the aspirational haven it once was. The allure of Beverly Hills has always been intrinsically linked to its price tag. Owning a piece of this paradise has become a luxury fewer and fewer can afford. Property prices have reached astronomical heights, driven by limited inventory and relentless demand. Even those who once considered themselves financially secure are feeling the squeeze. Doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, the backbone of any thriving community, are finding it increasingly difficult to maintain their foothold. The dream of raising a family in a sprawling Beverly Hills mansion is fading into the realm of fantasy. The very essence of what made Beverly Hills a magnet for aspiring minds is slowly eroding. The pressure isn't just on homeowners. Renters, too, are caught in the crosshairs of Beverly Hills' affordability crisis. Landlords, faced with rising property taxes and maintenance costs, have passed the burden on to tenants, sending rents soaring. Young families drawn to the area's renowned school system find themselves grappling with impossible choices. The diversity that once characterized Beverly Hills is giving way to a more homogeneous landscape. The sense of community begins to fray. The economic tremors shaking Beverly Hills extend far beyond real estate. Even the once immune luxury retail sector is feeling the pinch. Consumers, faced with global economic uncertainty and changing values, are re-evaluating their spending habits. A new generation of affluent shoppers is emerging, one that prioritizes experiences over material possessions. This shift in consumer behavior has left many luxury retailers scrambling to adapt. The very definition of luxury is being redefined, leaving some iconic brands struggling to stay relevant. As the cost of living in Beverly Hills skyrockets, a growing number of residents are seeking solace and fulfillment beyond the city's glittering facade. Farmers markets are now bustling hubs of activity as residents prioritize fresh, locally sourced food. Yoga studios and meditation centers are replacing exclusive gyms, reflecting a desire for inner peace. Community gardens are sprouting up in unexpected corners of the city. This shift towards a more mindful, community-oriented lifestyle is not merely a passing trend. The residents of Beverly Hills are discovering that true fulfillment often lies in simpler pleasures, connection, purpose, and a sense of belonging. Shadows of affluence, the unsettling rise of homelessness. The stark reality of homelessness casts a long shadow over Beverly Hills' carefully curated image of opulence. As rents soar and wages stagnate, even those holding down jobs find themselves struggling to keep a roof over their heads. A single unexpected expense, a medical emergency, or a job loss can quickly unravel the delicate balance of survival. The presence of homelessness in Beverly Hills is not merely a matter of aesthetics, it is a humanitarian crisis that demands attention, compassion, and a commitment to finding lasting solutions. Seeking refuge elsewhere. When even homelessness seeks greener pastures, individuals experiencing homelessness are choosing to leave the city in search of a better life elsewhere. Many are drawn to Beverly Hills by the perception of greater generosity and access to resources. However, the reality often falls short of expectations. This disconnect has led some individuals experiencing homelessness to seek refuge in neighboring communities with more robust support systems. These areas often offer a wider range of services, making them a more viable option for those struggling to survive. A city divided, bridging the gap between haves and have-nots. The growing disparity between the haves and the have-nots is palpable in Beverly Hills. While some residents enjoy lives of unparalleled luxury, others struggle to afford basic necessities. The presence of homelessness in Beverly Hills serves as a constant reminder that economic prosperity does not automatically translate into social well-being. Bridging the gap requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of homelessness. It also necessitates a shift in perspective, recognizing that homelessness is not a personal failing but a societal issue that demands a collective response. Beyond the headlines, understanding the faces of homelessness. It is all too easy to reduce individuals experiencing homelessness to statistics or stereotypes. Behind every cardboard sign and weathered face lies a story of hardship, resilience, and often a desperate yearning for a better life. There's Sarah, a single mother who lost her job during the pandemic and found herself priced out of her apartment. There's Michael, a veteran struggling with PTSD who fell through the cracks of the social safety net. These stories challenge us to look beyond the headlines and recognize the shared humanity that binds us together. A tale of two cities, the stark contrast that divides a community. The juxtaposition of extreme wealth and visible poverty creates a jarring dissonance in Beverly Hills. On one hand, there's the Beverly Hills of luxury boutiques and multi-million-dollar mansions. On the other hand, there's the Beverly Hills of homeless encampments and food banks. This stark contrast is a reflection of the deep-seated economic and social disparities that plague our nation. The presence of homelessness in Beverly Hills is a call to action for residents, policymakers, and community leaders to work together to bridge the gap. The changing face of cool when glamour fades. Beverly Hills, once the epitome of cool, now finds itself at a crossroads. The younger generation is less impressed by ostentatious displays of wealth and more drawn to authenticity and individuality. The meticulously manicured lawns and perfectly aligned palm trees now feel somewhat staged. The rise of streetwear has further challenged Beverly Hills' grip on the cultural zeitgeist. Beverly Hills must adapt to this evolving landscape or risk becoming a relic of a bygone era. In a world saturated with carefully curated online personas, there's a growing hunger for authenticity. Beverly Hills, with its emphasis on image and carefully constructed narratives, faces a unique challenge in appealing to this desire for the real. The rise of experiential travel has further fueled this desire for unscripted adventures. Tourists are now seeking out hidden gems and local hangouts. This shift towards authenticity presents both a challenge and an opportunity for Beverly Hills. To remain relevant, the city must embrace its unique history and character, showcasing the stories and experiences that make it more than just a zip code synonymous with wealth. As the curtain is pulled back on the lives of the rich and famous, revealing the often chaotic reality behind the carefully constructed facades, there's a growing sense of disillusionment with the superficiality and excesses often associated with Beverly Hills. The younger generation, bombarded with images of unattainable beauty standards and conspicuous consumption, is increasingly seeking out substance, purpose, and a sense of meaning beyond the pursuit of material wealth. The rise of conscious consumerism, where purchasing decisions are influenced by a brand's values, environmental impact, and social responsibility, further reflects this desire for substance. Consumers, particularly millennials and Gen Z, are more likely to support businesses that align with their values, even if it means spending a little extra. Beverly Hills, long associated with extravagance and indulgence, must adapt to this changing landscape by showcasing the philanthropic efforts, sustainable practices, and community-minded initiatives that exist alongside the city's more glamorous side. In an age of hyper-perfection, fueled by social media filters and carefully curated online personas, there's a growing appreciation for the imperfect, the authentic, and the underdog. Beverly Hills, with its impeccably manicured lawns, pristine streets, and airbrushed facades, can sometimes feel a bit too perfect, lacking the grit, the grime, and the raw energy that gives a city character. The rise of hipster culture, with its embrace of vintage clothing, reclaimed furniture, and a DIY ethos, has further fueled this appreciation for the imperfect. There's a certain charm in discovering a hidden gem, a hole-in-the-wall restaurant, or a vintage clothing store that feels like a throwback to a bygone era. Beverly Hills, while not typically associated with grittiness or imperfection, does have a rich history and a diverse community that extends beyond the stereotypes. By embracing its quirks, celebrating its local businesses, and showcasing the stories of its residents, the city can tap into this desire for authenticity and create a more multifaceted and engaging identity. Redefining success, from material wealth to meaningful living. The traditional markers of success, a sprawling mansion in Beverly Hills, a luxury car in the driveway, and a closet full of designer clothes, are being challenged by a new generation that defines success in terms of purpose, impact, and a sense of fulfillment. Material possessions, once the ultimate status symbols, are losing their allure as people prioritize experiences, relationships, and making a difference in the world. The rise of social entrepreneurship, where businesses are created with a mission to address social or environmental challenges, further reflects this shift in values. Young people are increasingly seeking out careers that align with their passions and allow them to make a positive impact on the world. Beverly Hills, with its concentration of wealth and influence, has the potential to be a hub for innovation, social change, and meaningful living. By supporting entrepreneurs, fostering a culture of philanthropy, and promoting sustainable practices, the city can redefine success on its own terms and attract a new generation of residents who are driven by more than just material wealth. Farewell to the dream, personal stories of departure. Behind the gated mansions, real lives are unfolding. For some, the Beverly Hills dream has turned bittersweet. Meet Sarah, a single mother who once believed this zip code held the key to a brighter future. The dream morphed into an unsustainable burden, forcing her to leave. Then there's Michael, a retired teacher who spent decades educating the next generation. Reluctantly, he sold his home and moved to a more affordable community. The price of paradise, when aspiration meets reality. For those who built businesses in Beverly Hills, the shifting landscape evokes a mix of emotions. David, a second-generation jeweler, witnessed the evolution of luxury firsthand. He weathered economic downturns, always adapting, always believing in Beverly Hills. But as rents soared and online retailers chipped away, David faced a sobering reality. Across town, Maria, a restaurateur, grappled with a similar dilemma. Her restaurant, once a buzzing hub, had become a victim of its own success. The exodus from Beverly Hills extends beyond individual stories of struggle and adaptation. It's a collective experience that's reshaping the very fabric of this once insular community. Longtime residents speak of a palpable shift, a sense of unease that permeates even the most exclusive enclaves. The bonds forged over backyard barbecues, school fundraisers, and shared moments of joy and sorrow are fraying as families relocate, businesses shutter, and the familiar rhythms of life are disrupted. The sense of community, once a source of pride and comfort, is being tested as never before. Even those who remain in Beverly Hills, their roots firmly planted in the manicured lawns and the sprawling estates, acknowledge that something profound is happening. They speak of a growing awareness that the pursuit of wealth and status, once the driving force behind this city's identity, has come at a cost. There's a growing desire for connection, for authenticity, for a sense of purpose that transcends the accumulation of material possessions. Seeking new beginnings, hope, and resilience beyond the hills. Stories of departure from Beverly Hills speak to the resilience of the human spirit, the ability to adapt and to find hope even in uncertainty. For Sarah, leaving Beverly Hills was an act of courage, a chance to create a new narrative for herself and her children. Maria sold her Beverly Hills establishment and opened a cozy cafe where locals gathered, sharing stories and creating new memories. Sunset Boulevard or a new dawn. The iconic Hollywood sign still stands tall, a silent sentinel overlooking the city below, including Beverly Hills. But the narrative playing out on the streets, in the homes, and in the hearts of its residents is one of change, of uncertainty, and of a collective search for meaning in an era defined by shifting values. Whether this chapter marks the end of an era or the beginning of a new one remains to be seen. The challenges facing Beverly Hills are real and complex, a microcosm of the broader societal shifts occurring across the nation and the globe. The widening gap between the haves and the have-nots, the rising cost of living, and the changing dynamics of luxury and success have all converged to create a perfect storm that's reshaping this once impregnable enclave. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, there's a palpable sense of hope, a belief that Beverly Hills still holds a certain magic, a power to reinvent itself, to adapt, and to emerge stronger from the ashes of its former glory. The question is, what will that reinvention look like, and who will shape its future? The enduring spirit of dreams. Beverly Hills at its core has always been more than just a zip code. It's an idea, a symbol of aspiration, a place where dreams, however improbable, felt tantalizingly within reach. And while the path to achieving those dreams may be changing, the spirit that fueled them remains woven into the very fabric of this city. It's in the eyes of the aspiring screenwriter hunched over a laptop in a crowded coffee shop, crafting stories that will captivate the world. It's in the determination of the young entrepreneur pitching their innovative ideas to skeptical investors, fueled by a belief that they can disrupt industries and change the game. And it's in the heart of the community activist, fighting tirelessly for social justice, for equality, and for a better future for all, regardless of zip code or bank balance. These individuals, these dreamers, these change makers, are the lifeblood of Beverly Hills, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, even when the path forward seems uncertain, the human spirit's capacity for hope, for innovation, and for creating a better tomorrow remains undimmed. Reinventing paradise, a collective effort. The future of Beverly Hills will not be determined by nostalgia or by clinging to a bygone era of glamour. It will be shaped by those who are willing to embrace change, to challenge the status quo, and to forge a new path forward, one that honors the city's legacy while paving the way for a more inclusive, sustainable, and meaningful future. It will require a collective effort, a willingness to bridge the divides that have emerged, to listen to the voices that have been marginalized, and to work together to create a community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. This means addressing the issue of affordable housing, supporting small businesses and local entrepreneurs, and investing in education, the arts, and the very fabric that binds a community together. It will require a shift in perspective, a recognition that true luxury lies not just in material possessions, but in the quality of life, in the strength of our connections, and in the legacy we leave behind. It's about creating a Beverly Hills that is not just a symbol of wealth and aspiration, but a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of dreams and a model for a brighter future for all.